I have been sleeping on my sister's couch, working in her boyfriend's lakefront restaurant to make ends meet so I can go to college. Not exactly my ideal arrangement, but the state is officially open and funds are limited, so I can't live without the position, not to mention the dubious amusement of their sofa. So to give them privacy, and so they won't see me doom scrolling all day, I now run along the lake every morning. It's an eerie lake, the water crystal clear, and it draws scuba divers to a town underneath it. Yesterday, I was in the middle of it, running down the rocky coast, when I saw something black half a mile away. On first sight, it was a man. His head was thrown back, shut, swimming like a dangling fish. He looked utterly lifeless. It was too early and there were no other people. I thought first of this guy. Must be a psycho who dives at night and heads to the bends or something. And then, being the smarty pants I am, instead of shouting and asking him if he was okay, I had to save him. I took off my sneakers, got down to my underwear and got ready for my heroic entry. The first thing I had in mind was a perfect Baywatch jump, 3 strong steps, 1 dive. Reality, however, had other plans. My feet struck the craggy boulders and I fell, clinging to the rocks like a wind-up ball as I kicked myself into the lake in an ungainly side flop. And to make things worse, I had contacts, so I had to swim with my eyes closed and flounder in the general direction of the body. When I snuck up, I stared directly into his eyes. He was very much alive, looking at me like I was totally brain dead. "You okay?" I mumbled, half expecting him to tell me thanks for saving his life. He took out his regulator and said, snarling, "Yeah, I am fine." My brain short-circuited. I floated on the water in crooked form, muddled and contemplating as the great black depths of the lake got closer. I figured I'd better get back and said, "I thought you were in need," and then swam off as fast as I could. But I missed something as a voice cleared his throat behind me. I threw up and went to bloody heaven. And now there was another diver who came in from nowhere, and was now laughing at my reaction. I found myself oh so horribly surrounded. Another few heads appeared, and these were all of scuba divers, now watching me deliver the spectacle I had been unwittingly delivering. My first man, the damsel in distress, who wanted to get me back to shore. Shameless but stuck, I took. The swim took much longer than I expected, and I was masked by heavy breathing and unable to help but giggle at how ridiculous this was. I eventually joked, "Bless you, were not drowning, because I would have died dragging you back." He laughed and said he would pull me the rest of the way. Not a chance. I said no, bent on at least some dignity, dog paddling the entire way. When we got to the beach, I was so disgusted. I tried to walk out of the water with equanimity, as if it was entirely normal to be in my sports bra and underpants in front of what appeared to be a group of essentially combat-grade monsters. Before I left, I called him and his team up to the bar for a pint, and ran back to the forest to get my clothes, cheeks red. They were cadets at a military school of some kind doing open water training, it turns out. This save was a guy studying for combat diving. He'd been out there for hours and I'd slipped up on their exercise. I was working the bar that night and my sister's boyfriend had the whole staff in on the tail. They were roasting me, reading the Reddit post I'd made about the incident, making jokes. And I almost forgot to tell the divers to come, until he came in. The man, lake man, merman, or whatever Reddit tossed his way, showed up looking unbelievably cute and smelling fantastic. He laughed at my weakness, supported me when my colleagues made fun of me, and even seemed to like being paid attention to. We talked all night. He was shrewd, witty, and a bit cynical, which was just fine. I won't go into all the details, but suffice it to say there was no doubt chemistry. Some weeks on and we still see each other. He's all the guy I imagined, caring, self-assured, and slightly dark. Who'd have thought that my cringe-worthy heroic act would become this extraordinary? Its life is a surreal thing and you never know what will happen next, and sometimes it is best to not know when it will happen.